Welcome everybody to another exciting episode of KiwiRadio.nz, simulcast on upfm.co.nz. We are back, we are alive, we are kicking with some great Kiwi music this week, as usual, Tuesdays 7 p.m. with your host, Ralphie. Last week, had a little bit of a glitch. I caught a virus malware on my computer for the first time. So my lesson with that is always wear protection when you're on the internet. I wasn't visiting anything dodgy. I'm pretty sure it's just because our podcast is so hot. Someone was trying to derail it. I don't know, but we are well so far this week. And Aaron Hogg has been very patient. He was meant to be with us last week, but he's back today. So we're giving him first dibs. We have a bunch of tunes for you today, starting with WLF. This actually stands for Wolf. I didn't realize this until I read the bio. Aaron Hogg, solo project of him all the way from Christchurch. We're going to chat to him straight after this tune. But listen in first. It's called Kool-Aid.
Go! Let the night roar over all of our dead bodies. Roar! You will have to think over all of our dead bodies. Let the night roar! You will have to think over all dead bodies. Let the night roar! Go! Let the night roar! You will have to think over all of our dead bodies. Let the night roar! You will have to think over all of our dead bodies. Let the night roar! You will have to think over all of our dead bodies. Let the night roar! You will have to think over all of our dead bodies.
This is UpFM. This is UpFM.
Wolf, welcome to the show, mate. That's a banging tune.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
First of all, thanks for your patience from last week. We are alive this week, though. Oh my goodness. What a rigmarole. It was like one of those days as well, because I have a little baby as well, and he was having a fit. He normally doesn't. He's all, like usually asleep by then as well. And it was just one of those days, and I was so wired, and it just didn't work. But everything's going well this week so far, so I'm pretty excited to have you back. Now, you've got this brand of in-the-box production called Electro Sludge. Tell us how you came about that genre. What are you doing with your music?
I mean, ultimately, it was just kind of a process of discovery, I suppose. I've started sort of messing around with GarageBand, just doing like practice songs for the band that I was in currently, which was a kind of like a sludgy kind of heavy rock band. And in the process of doing that, I mean, the band itself was starting to wind down, come to its natural end, and I discovered that I could get so much more done on my own and in my office in Logic or GarageBand. And so it's kind of the culmination of the stuff, I guess, that I was doing with Thunderwolf, which was the last band that I was in. And sort of like a discovery of electronic music and the production techniques involved with producing that, the sort of collision of those two things.
I like it. I like how you've hinted a little bits of your previous project. Obviously, Thunderwolf, I'm going to have to research that, maybe play some of that on kiwiradio.nz. We're all about Kiwi music on the station. Nice. And so I'm going to have to maybe, or send me some stuff, man, anything. So from Thunderwolf, cutting it back to Wolf, why have you removed the O, though?
Man, I don't even know. I guess it was almost like a bit of a knee-jerk thing to kind of keep it a little bit more coded, that the wolf was still, part of like what I was doing musically. But just sort of a spur of the moment thing, and it sort of stuck. So.
I thought maybe you were thinking ahead a little bit and saving on signage costs. So if you had one letter less.
Good idea. No, good idea there. Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, I'm a bit hilarious. I think. Awesome. So you've got this brand called Wolf, and we're going to play some of your music now. Judging for time, we'll see how we go, because we do have lots of guests today, and we might play bonus tracks towards the end. Who knows? But we're going to play this next song from you called Swan Song. Could you tell us what the song is about?
I mean, I guess it's a bit of a riff on existential dread. One of the things that sort of, I guess, eventually brought this last band, Thunderwolf, down was we lost a bass player and guitarist, one of my best mates, and someone that I'd sort of written music with through Slim and into Thunderwolf. Don got cancer and died of cancer, and it's something that obviously, it was obviously a really heavy time, and that stuck with me. So this, I guess, started out just in the way a lot of my songs do, as a bit of a jam, and eventually, as the samples kind of that I used in the song revealed themselves, I started sort of fashioning it in that way. So it's got a kind of sweet but slightly melancholy sound, but it's about, I guess, the fear of death.
Yeah. I heard a really great saying before. One of our previous guests, Luke Hurley, really amazing New Zealand instrumentalist, just brought out an album, by the way, lukehurley.co.nz. Absolutely. And he said that to fear death, you're basically you're fearing living as well. That's what he said. I don't know. I can't paraphrase very well. But if you're afraid of death, you're actually afraid of life.
Sure. Yeah.
Really. So are you in Christchurch, by the way?
I am in Christchurch.
That's awesome, because I've always wanted to use this Christchurch soundboard. Here we go.
Cha-cha, Christchurch.
Christchurch. So we've got I've had no use for that button until now, but
Cha-cha, Christchurch.
We've got music from
Cha-cha, Christchurch
today. So listen up. It is Wolf. Where can we find your music, by the way?
I mean, it's available on Spotify and Camp and I mean, I did the normal thing with distribution where I went through DistroKid, and so I think it's up on Apple Music and iTunes, and all the sort of major streaming platforms.
Yeah, cool. Well, we'll play your tune now. It's all about the music. Are you happy to hang out and listen to the other tunes, hang out in the green room? If we have time, we'll definitely play more from you as well.
Sure.
And,
no, thanks very much for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we go, guys. This is Wolf, Missing the O, WLF. The song is called Swan Song.
Sacred is in every grain of sand that's in every leaf of the tree and every blade of grass. Sacred is in every grain of sand, every leaf of the tree and every blade of grass. Sacred is in every grain of sand, it's in every leaf of the tree and every blade of grass. Very lit. Sacred is in every grain of sand, it's in every leaf of the tree and every blade of grass.
This is Up FM.
Kia ora, UpFM family. UpFM.co.nz. Also simulcast kiwiradio.nz, or podcast available for download if you want to check out previous guests. Yeah, apparently Aaron from WLF is 2D sort of graphics video stuff at the moment to his music. That sounds very interesting. He's a graphics designer by trade, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. Next up, we have Dad Kirby. He's a folk punk acoustic singer-songwriter from Wellington. Hello, welcome to the show.
Hey, man, thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Very good. You're our next guest today, and tell us about your music.
Oh, well, it's all very, from the heart, to be cliche right off the bat. So they're just. I find it very cathartic. I don't really write for anyone else. It's just I started writing music, or maybe I've been writing music since I was about 13 in daft little emo bands and stuff like that, and then that went on just until I was in my early 20s, and then picked up the guitar again, and I've always found it just super cathartic to just write what's happening and what's going on, and then recently I just played it to a friend who's like, hey, you should put some of that stuff out there. So fast forward to here and now.
Yeah, absolutely. I really connect with that whole cathartic route there, because I remember the first album that I wrote, also being a musician myself, was about a breakup of 5 years. So
Yeah.
I started off writing like piano ballads going. One of my songs was actually called Baby Love Hurts. I mean, come on. And and then slowly started getting more into progressive. But yeah, absolutely. There's something about creating a timestamp, like an audio stamp of your life at that given point through writing a song. So,
I mean, you are 100% right. There is something about that timestamp. Not always a good something. One of my musical heroes, a guy called Frank Turner, who you've probably heard of, who you'll hear a lot of influences in my stuff. He did an amazing live album live in Newcastle, and he talked about like writing songs like that. And he said that the problem is when you write a song about a particular time in your life is that you then move on, but the song just kind of stays there. And when you go back over enough time, eventually you look back, and sometimes it can be a little bit cringe to look back on those. But yeah, you're right. It is good to have a timestamp and kind of quantify those feelings in some way.
Yeah, absolutely. And hearing something back that was created years ago, it really can create. It's like looking at a photograph or memento or souvenir. It re-triggers those feelings again. Some of the songs that I wrote that were really depressing, I don't ever want to hear myself, that for that reason. But yeah, hopefully, can you describe your type of music, what we're about to hear today?
Yeah, so I think the general term for the genre is kind of folk punk, which in itself is kind of a bit of a joke, because most people, like in the folk punk community, are always kind of asking, "Is this folk punk? What is this? Is this
That's
folk
kind
punk?
of a juxtaposition, no? Folk is one world and punk is another world.
It's really funny. I think folk emo never really took off, but vaguely they're pretty similar. I would probably say mine is maybe more folk emo, but that doesn't exist. But yeah, I guess it's just folk punk. I guess it's just taking those it's like being in a punk band and without the the external anguish, but it's a bit more internalized with an acoustic guitar.
Okay,
I think it's just probably an easier way of saying I'm an emo kid who then ended up in his 30s, and you can't be an emo kid in your 30s. You've got to rebrand, So it's probably just that.
Awesome. Well, it's all about music today. Let's listen to your first track for the showcase. It's called The Shipping Forecast.
Small ships, heavy weights, almost too much strain to take. The pressure builds, the dam bursts, the flood it rains, and you drown first. And it's not like you didn't see this coming, but you tied yourself to the mast. So when the storm broke, you felt rudderless. You should have read that shipping forecast. Little sense, big man, you build your house upon the sand, then act surprised when it falls. This house of sticks has flammable walls, and it's not like you didn't see this coming, but you were proud of your address. So when the feelings came and took everything, your pride, it left you homeless. You should have spoke, but you hesitated. You wanted fire, but you acclimated. You lit the fuse and watched this blow up in your face. face. You're falling apart, trying to piece it together. You've got the right day, but not the right weather. And you know you should stay strong, but you're tired of getting it wrong. Small ships, heavy weights, almost too much strain to take. The pressure built and the dam burst. The flood it rained and you drowned first. So be grateful you had lifeboats and friends and flower beds. Hold on tightly till the storm subsides. And be grateful you're not dead. You wanted fire that didn't have to cremate you. You wanted fire that didn't have to cremate you. You wanted fire that didn't have to cremate you. You wanted fire that didn't have to cremate you. You wanted fire that didn't have to cremate you. You wanted fire that didn't have to cremate you. You wanted fire that didn't have to cremate you. You wanted fire she didn't have to cremate you. You wanted fire that didn't have to cremate you. You wanted fire that didn't have to cremate you. You should have swore, but you hesitated. You wanted fire and you got cremated. You lit the fuse and watched this blow up in your face. Falling apart, trying to piece together. You got the right day, but not the right weather. And you know you should stay strong. But you're tired of getting it wrong. Tired of getting wrong.
Rock and roll. Wow. I'm totally blown by your pipes there, David. If you were in the show The Voice, you know, like that blind audition, I would have turned my chair in like 3 seconds, you know? That's really cool.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, no, like,
You would have turned it
congratulations.
the right way, though, right?
I would have turned it the right way, yeah.
You wouldn't have done like a Naboo on me. And turned you
Nah,
back
man,
on
I want you in my team. Yeah, I want you.
me. Cheers, bro.
Yeah, man, that's really cool. Congratulations. So you've done 3 EPs. Check out his discography. Where can we find that music there, David?
Yeah, so as Aaron Wolf was saying, like, bit of a distro kid, clientele myself, so where it gets kind of pinged out all over the shop. So mainly, you know, your classic Spotify, Apple Music, all of them, it's on there.
And
It's just my
Bandcamp.
name, David Kirby. Bandcamp, I've got, the good thing about Bandcamp is you can actually give me some money for it. So
Yeah.
if you wanted to.
I'm
I'm
going
not
to
saying you
totally
have
drain
to.
my... actually, I've done this before, and only for select guests, by the way. If you've got nice merch, especially CDs, I'm still a CD baby. I have a growing collection of all my guests that do CDs. So, Parabola West, if you're listening to this replay, I just bought your CD, Luke Hurley as well. Yeah, so do you have CDs?
I mean, I don't have any of my own CDs.
Right.
But no. If you want to buy an old Kings of Leon one, I've probably got one I've used as a coaster.
Signed
You can
by
have that
Dave
if you
Irby. Yeah, Kings of Leon, listened by David Kirby, not even produced by, just listened by. Okay, you've got a bit of a tale for the next song called The Ghost Beside the Fire. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, not so much of a tale, probably just a bit of a preamble, because I feel like I need to back this song up, because you're going to hear it, and the vibe is a lot different to the last one, and it is. So it's about Emma, and it's gonna sound. I also really bad saying this because I'm not sure if it makes me sound like a bad person, but the song's gonna make it sound like she's dead, and she's not dead.
God.
So I just need to, just put that out there in case people are wondering. So basically, I got a call from my mum saying, "Obviously, all my family's in England," saying, "So look, she's not well. It's end game kind of time. If you want to say goodbye, you need to come home. You need to go and come and see her." So obviously I did. I paid a lot of money. I got a last minute flight. I went home to see her. I had a very emotional month said my goodbyes, and that was 3 years ago, and she's still alive because she's got the life force in her. You know, like I just think a lot of people in the north of England
that only eats pasta or something.
she's from where I'm from Israel. Well, people in that area, they just have the life force. They just keep going.
Well, first of all, that's a good thing. Nana, if you're listening, we love you. Yeah, that's a good thing though, right?
I know. I hope I've inherited those genes somewhere down the line.
No, regardless, spending time with family, one of the main things I learned through these lockdowns is we're all coordinating moving our homes closer to family because there's never too much time with family, you know, even if you thought they were dying and then they didn't.
Yeah,
again, we love you, Grandma. Yeah.
Yeah, well, mine are all over on the other side of the planet. So, I mean, you are 100% right. It's important to get some family time in. But just in case anyone ever delves into my past and realizes that I haven't deliberately written a song trying to, you know, get some plaudits for something that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
I just wrote it on the flight over, and I was just thinking about, you know, you get thinking about existentialism and all that, and that's where the song came from.
That's cool. Well, that is a good intro to the song. We're going to play it right now because we're all about the music. Again, David Kirby, go check him out. New Zealand music from Wellington, The Ghost Beside the Fire, playing on kiwiradio.nz.
The flat where you once lived no longer standing. The house you raised your children has been torn to the ground. The kids have trouble comprehending how to carry on when you were no longer around. But the ghost beside the fire says it's time. The ghost beside the fire says it's time. The ghost beside the fire who held the ring of your desire. The ghost beside the fire says it's time. The impressions in your chair don't do you justice, and the thinning silver hair holds memories of a crown. The time you spent on earth with us can't measure the esteem with which we hold the Queen of Middlesbrough abounds. But the ghost beside the fire says it's time. The ghost beside the fire says it's time. With the blue around the iris and look of all the Irish, the ghost beside the fire says it's time. You're facing down the dark on a path we all eventually have to walk. A family in division, blind 2020 vision. The ghost beside you. Oh, the ghost beside the fire says it's time. The ghost beside the fire says it's time. After a life of no regrets, it's time to put your head to rest. The ghost beside the fire says it's time. And though we know to you someday we'll say again, we're on our right. The ghost beside the fire says it's time.
second guest for today, and we also have a third guest. Triple trouble. We have Bundy Law on the phone. Welcome to the show. Hopefully you can hear me loud and clear. Hello, hello. Check 1 2 on the mic. Yeah. Nope. Okay, we're going to go into the song then. Bundy Law with Perfect Obscurity. I think he's out somewhere like remote or something. He was texting me saying he couldn't get reception. Bundy, if you can hear me, we will have to fire up an interview when you've got better reception. But we'll still showcase your music today. It's called Perfect Obscurity. Check it out right now.
One day we belong this way. One of the family, perfect obscurity, a stone in the cemetery, gathering moss and weeds. Nothing to read about, look at or listen to. No more memories, someone we never knew. Someday we belong this way. Tell the journey like gathering elephants. Give up the ghost when they forget you. Listen to history's middle bit, swallowing all of it. Let it get older, gaining composure. See me out. Let it get older, gaining composure. See me out. Someday we belong this way. Personal consequence, almost a comedy. Immortal promises, staring mortality. Nothing to read about, look at or listen to. Now's what you're living for, you do what you gotta do. Let it get older, gaining composure, see me out. Let it get older, gaining composure, see me out. Someday we belong this way. One last savor of precious light, oceans of ages just float on by, and the world itself become one. One of the family,
Bundy Law.
949.
in the cemetery, gathering moss and weeds. Nothing to read about, look at or listen to. No more memories, someone we never knew. It's okay.
Hello.
We belong this way.
Okay, you're tuned into kiwiradio.nz. Well, our strike hit has been good this week. We lost one. We lost one artist. I don't know what happened with Bundy Law. I have tried to reach you multiple times, but it's going straight to your voicemail. But no, so I thought we'd get back to our second guest for today. We do still have time on the show. Remember, we are streaming live on kiwiradio.nz, simulcast on upfm.co.nz as well. I just want to say thank you to the station manager there, Josh, if you're listening, and I want to thank you for having me on Up FM, because you're normally a techno station, but we get to hijack it Tuesday 7 p.m. with Kiwi music, which is what we're doing right now. David Kirby, welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Now,
how you holding up?
I am. We lost one patient out of 3. Bundy Law, I'm so sorry that you couldn't quite reach the station today. But yeah, go check him out. That was the tune by Bundy Law, Perfect Obscurity. We'll try to have him again next time. David, we thought we'd sneak a third song by you.
Yeah.
Awesome. Now, I wanted to be your friend, but according to this song, we can't be friends.
Well, it's funny because it kind of comes back around to what you were talking about at the very start when we first started chatting about writing songs about breakups that, that are years and years old. That's what this is. This is a breakup song that I wrote. It's one of the first songs I ever wrote. And that's why, on the recording, it's just me and the guitar. I always thought this song is always just going to be me. And the really honest song, it's an honest breakup song. I find that breakup songs are usually a bit overly emotional and maybe a bit extreme. They're either, oh my God, the world's ended and I don't know what I'm doing, or it's like, oh, I hate you now that we broke up, and breaking up's the best thing that ever happened to me. And I just don't think real breakups are either. I think they're somewhere in the middle. It's just trying to be honest with myself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Tell us a little bit about your process when writing records. What does your creative environment look like? Are you doing everything yourself, or what's happening?
Yeah, so the actual writing of the song, less so the production, but the writing of the songs is just me and the guitar. As I said before, I find it super cathartic to just kind of work through stuff in that way. I don't really have a writing process. Usually it's me waking up at 2 a.m. with a weird one line in my head and in a cold sweat and having to write something down. And then 90% of the time I wake up in the morning and look back at what I've written and thought, oh my God, this is garbage. What have I written? But sometimes it's decent and becomes a song.
Cool. And we are going to get back to your songs shortly, but this is the interview segment of the show where we get a bit chatty. Apparently, the American listeners love it when Kiwis are really chatty in between songs. That's a thing, apparently. If you're touring in America, they want you to talk in between songs. Like, they don't even want to listen to your music. They just want to hear it. They just want to hear a story from the Kiwi down under. So, you don't, first of all, you don't sound Kiwi. What's going on there?
Well, I'm not Kiwi. I'm from Middlesbrough in the northeast of England. I'm a bit of a cuckoo in this. England.
The Queen's motherland.
I mean, as you can probably tell, I'm not from anywhere near where the Queen is from my horrendous accent.
I am always warmed nicely to anyone that's British, only because I was based in London myself for 2 years. And I honestly have to say it was one of the best 2 years of my life. And the best thing is I had my favorite person with me, which is my wife. But yeah, British people, I don't know, like, even if you're the biggest DICK or what in Britain they like to call you Pom or Pratt. If you're the biggest Pratt, I'll still like you because you've got an English accent.
Well, hopefully I'm not a Pratt.
No, you don't sound like
I'd like
a Pratt.
to think I'm not. Oh, I mean, get to know me a bit better, I will say.
Well, I also want to commend you on your radio voice, because a little factoid I just learned about you a couple of minutes ago is you have done radio before. Did you have a show in England? Tell us about it.
I did, yeah. I used to be on it was a student/commercial station in Sunderland in the northeast of England. So I'm from the northeast of England, so the opposite end of it from London. And it was a radio station called Spark FM, and I managed to get my own specialist show, which was a heavy metal show.
Wow!
So it was called The Takedown, and I was great. Every Thursday, 2 hours of just blasting out Slipknot and Metallica and all these record people would send you a load of free music that you get to listen to, and you get to go to free gigs in the area.
Yeah, for sure.
I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, I have a bit of history with the free gigs thing as well. I actually, oh my God, I must be getting old, but I've been with Up FM for almost 2 decades. A little bit of a backstory with Up FM. We used to be kind of commercial, like about as up there as George FM, for example. We were on Sky Television. We were doing gigs like all the time, events. I was doing all their stings, so I got to get free tickets at like Gatecrasher and all that sort of stuff. So was continue to be a volunteer at UpFM doing my community service, but I was getting free tickets, and that's one of the perks of doing, I guess, B stations, if you want to call it that. But but the invitation is out there, David. If you ever want to do a local community service to all the local metalheads in New Zealand, there's always a slot either at kiwiradio.nz. We have one rule in Kiwi Radio: it has to be Kiwi. But also,
I'm out straight away. I've been disqualified after the first one. But if anyone ever feel the need to listen to a narcissistic northerner playing heavy metal, then give me a shout. I'm sure I'll be able to help you out anytime you need.
Or even just post some podcasts on SoundCloud or stuff, and we can always download it. But I'm actually, I like all sorts of genres. So it'd be interesting to get a tastemaker for the metal scene there as well. So
yeah, I mean, I actually do have a podcast.
Do you?
I do. I do a podcast with my friends and I. My friend Dr. Andrew Crossland is a doctor of renewable energies, and I don't know anything about renewable energy. Obviously, green energy is very in vogue at the moment. So we do a podcast called the Renewable Energy Podcast every couple of weeks, where we kind of do I work as essentially my role is to be the layman of the piece. So we talk about different aspects of renewable and green carbon neutral energy each week, and then I just ask a lot of questions about stuff I don't know about, and he answers them. And then at the end of it, because I am a part-time musician and a full-time idiot, I play a song at the end of each one. So I play a song at the end of each podcast. So there's an opportunity for some even more new music by me. It's called the Renewable Energy Podcast.
Joy stories, that's my main thing. Something about campfire stories, or even any topic that I'm not good at. I always like listening to people that know what they're talking about. So send me a link. I'll definitely go check that out. Hopefully you like our little podcast. We're live Tuesday, 7 p.m, bang on the dot. Kiwi music interviews. We've got the next 3 months, and it's a free promotional service that we provide to musicians. However, if you do want priority service, we'll take your money. Or if you want to take it to a donation, keep the servers alive, go to kiwiradio.nz. But seriously, it's all about the music for me. So free promotion for Kiwis. Head along to kiwiradio.nz if you're listening to this on playback. Chuck me some tunes. We'd love to have you on the show, and we'd love to have you back there, David, because you've got 3 Ps. You've got a big discography, so I want to hear more music, more stories. The invitation's there, man.
Anytime you want to have a banter with me, I am there. You feel free to give me a shout anytime you want that.
Cool. Well, some of our previous guests actually enjoy having a bit of a chat to us. They're 3 shows in kind of thing. So it's really it's pretty cash. But we'll line up another date sort of from, as in the next couple of months. And would love to listen to more music. Man. Sounds good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything else before we end this segment? It's almost closing time. Any final segments? Any final comments? What do you want to say to fans of your music? Me being one of them.
I was going to say, I'm not sure I have any, do I?
You have me.
I've got one. All right. So
and your mum, probably.
Oh, my mum, she's my biggest fan. She's always the one on Facebook if I ever post anything on my Facebook page.
It's really awkward when...
/David Kirby Music.
Oh, okay,
cool. Whenever I post anything, it's always the very first comment. I'll get a notification saying, you've got a comment on this post. I'm like, yes, I'm engaging with my audience. And it's always, Mum Kirby, great work, son. Sounds amazing. It's on. I'm like, I love your love, mother, but
no, that's all good. I mean, having a supportive mum is very vital to
God love her.
Success in life. And anyways, in speaking of success in life, wish you all the best in your music. I personally think you're probably one of the best singers I've heard in the podcast so far. Something about those pipes, I think, is makes the music rocking and rolling. So carry on. Do you have voice lessons, by the way? Because talent like that doesn't come naturally, right?
I've never taken any singing or voice lessons. It's just what comes out.
Imagine
I've
if
always
you did.
sang like.
What would happen? Would you reach these high notes that no human being has ever done, and then break glass or something? Like, what if you actually
maybe it goes the other way? Maybe it'd go the other way and I'd take singing lessons and I'd end up being like,
I'm glad you can banter with me and kind of a little bit stay on topic. There's you, and then there's also one other guest that I have a lot of fun with on the podcast, chrisbates.co.nz. Check him out. He's a very pop singer, but whenever he's on the podcast, we always talk about food, but it's really bizarre because we hardly play music and it's like a music show. We just talk about food. I don't know. But okay, a renewable energy. I have to listen to that podcast. Please post it now. I will check it out. And
I will send you the link.
We'll stay in touch. We get along, I think. And I think, again, it's because of your British accent. Not your personality. Okay.
This is all just a facade, mate. This is all just a facade. As soon as the music goes on and the mics come down, we'll be swearing at each other, slagging each other off. It's all a show. It's just a front
we
for the
actually
audience.
hate each other. Okay.
Who is this loser?
So you're in Wellington. I'm there. Let me know. And do you have any gigs or anything? What are you doing with your music in terms of showing it for the public? Or is it a studio project? What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have any gigs lined up at the minute. Unfortunately, old COVID McGee is kind of put pace to a lot of those glued and cancelled. But as soon as Anti-Rona moves out, I'll get some work. But in the meantime, hopefully a lot of open mics. If you're ever in Wellington and see an open mic, I'll probably be there playing a song. Yeah, man, if you're ever in Wellington, give me a shout. We'll go for a bevy.
I'll give you one glimpse of hope with open mics. You never know who's in the crowd. I did one open mic in London. Obviously, I have a heavy Kiwi accent. Someone from New Zealand was organising festivals for New Zealand, Australian, and South African artists, and we got to play for 10,000 plus people due to an open mic. And then after that show, we got to support Tahuna Breaks, I Am Giant, like big names in New Zealand music.
Wow.
I think they're both defunct, but they were big. And both shows were paid.
Breaks?
Yeah, I played I was the support act.
Pony?
Yeah, I was the support act for Tahuna Breaks, yeah. But the thing is...
that was them, eh?
Yeah, that's them. They're really good. They're very... whatchamacallit. I liken them to like James Brown. Yeah, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
that kind of music.
They've got some real funky soul about them. Yeah, I saw them in Queenstown, and it was incredible.
They're
really
good.
Fantastic gig.
They were 10 years into their career, and they decided to call it quits, though, which is really sad.
Oh, did you ever see the music video for?
Yeah, they're good.
Ride That Funky Pony.
Yeah.
If you're over 18, Google. If not, don't by any means. Don't.
In other words, don't.
Otherwise, it's quite funny.
No, look, I'd love to stay and chat with you for a long time. We've got 4 minutes left in the show, and otherwise, Up FM will cut us out. And our last track today is 3 minutes 51. So there we go. 9 seconds. Anything else there, David? In 9 seconds. 8, 7. 6,
let's be friends.
Let's be friends.
You put me on the spot.
The song is called We Can't Be Friends, and it's by David Kirby. Go check him out, everybody. Thanks, David. Stay cool, stay creative, okay? Thanks for being on the show.
Cheers, bro. Thanks for having me.
It's actually 4 minutes. That's okay. That's the show, everybody.
Saturday night comes and goes, and the dance floor ebbs and flows, looking for another lost soul to get me out of this self-deprecating hole. You're on the other side of the world, and you live it up, forgetting your troubles. We always said this was mutual, but I never thought of you as anybody else's girl. So we can't be friends until I found someone else. And I know that's selfish, but it's true. Till then I'll get drunk and take your pictures off the shelf. Forget that there was ever me. People say a clean break is the easiest way to ease the pain. We've got regrets by the bucket full, but it's bittersweet when guilt is tangible. Time moves on without remorse, and our ships sail past on a different course. I'd never refund a single day. We never lie, but our truths had a sell-by date. And now it's too late, and we can't be friends until I found someone else. And I know that's selfish, but it's true. Till then I'll get drunk and take your pictures off the shelf. Forget that there was ever me and sometimes I think I miss you, but I'm not really sure if I do. I think I've just misconstrued the memories of what we went through. It doesn't mean I want to see you happy with someone new. Well, we can't be friends until I find someone else. And I know that's selfish, but it's true. Till then I'll get drunk and take your pictures off the shelf. Forget that there was ever me and else. And that's just pathetic, but it's true. Oh, till then I'll get drunk, but I'll be drinking to your health. It helps. Forget that there was ever me and you. I'll pretend that there was never me and you, until I figure out what else I can do. I'll pretend that there was never me and...
That is the show, everybody.
0, 2,
Nope,
1.
Bundy Law's voicemail is still there. I tried, Bundy. I really did. That's the end of the show, everybody. We had 2 out of 3 guests appear. We had Aaron Hogg from WLF, otherwise known as Wolf, and David Kirby. I hope to have them both back because I think their music is excellent. And if you want to check out Kiwi music, every Tuesday, 7 p.m., same station, same channel. We're doing this all the time, and we'd love to have you listening in or being part of the show, even better. Thank you very much. Stay cool, stay creative. That is the show. And one final plug, by the way. The tune you are listening to is created by Ralphie. The album is called Souvenirs. Go check it out on your favorite platforms. Ralphie.bandcamp.com is our favorite. RALPHE. There we go. I always find that it's important to throw a different voice when you're plugging your own music. That is it. That's all, folks. See you later.